you are wishing to know more about fishing, you don't need a book, just come and see the hook and the cook. If you are looking to know more about cooking, you know where to look, just come and see the hook and the cook. Scotty will hook 'em, and Paul he will cook 'em.
They like to travel and learn new stuff.
Come and see the hook and the cook.
We're headed to the Mudgee region today. Our first stop is Lake Windermere. We want to get out in the water early, which means a very early start to the day. Mudgee's about 3.5 hours drive northwest of Sydney, nestled in the Cudgegong Valley. Our journey takes us over the Blue Mountains, which are part of the Great Dividing Range.
Before we know it, we arrive at the lake and get set to hit the water.
Today we're on Lake Windermere. We've just come over the Blue Mountains. We left Sydney at 3 a.m. this morning. We're up in the Mudgee region for a few days to check out some of the local attractions. But first, we're going to head out in the lake here and see if we can get ourselves amongst a few nice fish. The gear we're using today, light threadline outfits for casting lures or trolling, spooled up with about 6 to 8 kilo line and a fluorocarbon leader. I always bring along a heavier outfit for trolling my larger lures, intended on catching a cod and fished a little bit heavier, maybe 10 kilo with a heavier trace.
5 metres now.
Oh, fish on.
Snag back there.
No, fish.
Oh, good. Beautiful, Scotty. Well done, mate.
Can you wind that other one in?
Yeah, good old one. Okay, beautiful, Scotty. Not easy. I'll get that net out. I'll get it. You're right. Got it. Just trawling around, eh?
Feels like a good fish too. It's a pretty heavy little rod, this one.
Golden.
Yeah, good golden. Just wait till we can
Yes, well done, mate. Woohoo! Woohoo! Well done. That's a fish. I didn't realise they got that big. This is the first time I've been to Windermere Dam. I'm very excited. Yeah, unbelievable. Oh, look at the size of that. Mate, he's huge.
Well done, eh?
He's big.
He's a ripper. Let's see what he goes. Smack on 3 kilos.
Wow. Well, let me tell you right now, mate.
A beautiful yellow belly.
I don't think I've got a frying pan big enough to put these fillets in.
An hour on the dam,
Look at the shoulders.
1 good sized fish,
Huge.
2 very happy anglers.
Very, very happy. Woo. Mate, I thought it was going to be a long day.
With the hard work done, we can relax and enjoy a bit more time on the lake. Well, I'll tell you what, that beautiful golden perch we pulled out of the lake earlier trolling, that's the little lure that did the damage. And we're working these lures around 3 to 5 metres and working the foreshores you can see in the background there. Troll nice and slow for best results. Other lures that are working well are little bladed lures. They come in a multitude of colours. The beauty of these lures, you can work them up and down amongst the timber, along the rocky foreshores. You can cast, troll or spin with them. Work extremely well. This one here, a little soft plastic, is also a good option. So make sure you bring a variety of lures and you'll be successful when you fish freshwater impoundments. After the break, we get out and about around Mudgee. Earlier today we were trolling, picked up a nice yellow. We're going to now start working some bladed lures amongst the heavy timber and see if we can get a fish casting. Don't be scared to work your lures right along hard against the shore. It's amazing how many fish just sit under these sticks and logs over here. It's a perfect ambush point for these fish. How good is this? Second golden perch for the day. We just caught him amongst the timber behind us there. We weren't trolling, we're actually casting bladed lures this time. He's a beautiful fish.
They seem to be going for the gold today. Everything's been hitting the gold.
Gold or the bronze colours.
Yeah.
So I think we might put this fish back, Paul.
Yeah, we've already got one, mate. It's enough, you know.
Yep.
And he's a big fish that we've caught, and let this guy grow up to be a bit bigger.
Let's put him back, eh?
Oh, look at that.
It's been a top morning out on Lake Windermere, landing 2 excellent yellow belly. I'd love to stay all day and try for a Murray cod, but we've got more of Mudgee to see.
Our next stop is Burns Bed and Breakfast, which also happens to be a yabby farm. I'm hoping to pick up some fresh local yabbies to try out in a new recipe.
Hey Pete.
Hey Scott.
G'day Peter.
And
Paul, how you going, mate?
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, so you've come to Mudgee to have a look around?
Yeah, mate. What I'm after is I'm after some yabbies because we're looking at doing a cook-up, and I hear you're the best place in town.
Well, this is the one and only yabby farm, so
Peter is kind enough to show us around.
an aquaculture pond is surrounded on 4 sides, so there's no runoff into it.
Yep.
They breed in the ponds.
Yep.
Once I catch them, I put them into tanks in the big shed, separate them into categories, and sell them from there.
Pete holds the yabbies in freshwater tanks for at least 7 days prior to being sold for consumption. This is really effective in purging their systems and results in excellent tasting flesh.
You got him. That's pretty good. He's looking at me, sir. Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was very entertaining watching Paul trying to pick up the yabbies.
And what's the best way to pick them up? Because I know that they'll give you a nasty nip.
With care. The best way is just to get them more or less by the elbows, support the body.
Yep.
Because what they'll do sometimes, if you hold them just by those nippers,
Yep.
they'll just give a flip and break them off. Hey, he's done it.
I'm looking forward to cooking up these yabbies, mate, and seeing how they taste.
Right, yeah. Oh, they taste as good as they look.
With our yabbies on ice, we have one more stop before we can think about dinner. Mudgee is one of Australia's oldest wine-growing regions. Established in 1858, Craigmore is Mudgee's oldest winery and vineyard. We drop in to catch up with senior winemaker James Manners.
In Mudgee, in the area, Mudgee, what's it really good for growing?
It's a good question, and do you know, to be honest, we're still really struggling to put a finger on one variety. Here, it's a fairly unique part of the world. We do a lot of things really well, and I'm not just saying that because I'm from Mudgee. It's actually a pretty diverse region with soils and different altitudes. So Italian varieties do really well here. Things like Sangiovese, Barbera, some of the reds. Great area for Shiraz, but equally does some fantastic Rieslings and great Chardonnays. So when people say, what's Mudgee really famous for, it's really hard to nail that one down. Yeah.
So you've got
So we're famous for our diversity, if you like. There you go.
This is another question for you.
Yep.
What's yellow belly? I'm doing it with I've been thinking about we're going to do it with a Moroccan spice. What sort of
well, good strong flavours. Yeah, good strong flavours in there. You could probably, I'd go a pretty crisp Mudgee Chardonnay with that.
Right, okay.
Try the Robert Oatley Chardonnay. That's really got a lot of that citrus spectrum in there and crisp acidity, so that'll help work through some of the fattiness of the fish. Because yellow belly is quite a
little bit fatty,
fatty sort of fish and good texture there, and so that should work out pretty well.
And yabbies.
Look, probably the most versatile wine, and rosé I think will work well with that.
Rosé.
Yeah, it's not
with this hot weather at the moment.
It's a perfect drinking thing, and it's a bit tough. You know, you invite all your mates around for a barbecue, and you pull out a rosé. It generally goes down like a lead balloon, but it's a really good drink for our conditions, and perfect with seafood. And yabby would be great with that.
We pop into the cellar door and pick up those wines James recommended.
This will go down well.
Nice to meet you.
After the break, Paul spices up our yellow belly.
So we call that beautiful yellow belly perch or golden perch. So I thought I'd come up with a nice Moroccan spiced golden perch. We're going to serve that on a chickpea avocado salad, a little bit of lime through there as well. I'm going to serve a yogurt and chili dressing with that. So the first thing that we have to do is make the actual marinade for the fish. So what I've got here is some cumin seeds, some turmeric. We've also got some dried chilies. Now, what we need to do when we're making any type of dried marinade, we really do need to release the oils out of that. This is just called dry roasting. I'm just going to dry roast these ingredients. The next thing we're going to put in is our raw ingredients, or fresh ingredients I should say, which is our garlic. It just helps when you're bashing the garlic down that it doesn't throw all the ingredients out everywhere. The next thing that we need to do is add some salt, which helps us paste that garlic up into a paste. So plenty of salt in there. In goes our garlic. Next thing we need to do now is pound all our ingredients together. As the ingredients start to come together in a paste, I add some coriander root, which holds a lot of flavour. Then Scotty helps me out and adds a little bit of oil. Add a squeeze of lime juice for a bit more zesty flavour. Pop everything into the mixing bowl and add more oil and more lime juice and give it a good stir. Okay, these fish, absolutely beautiful perch, but a little bit too thick. We're going to be cooking them in the pan today. Fantastic if we wanted to do them in the oven. You know, we could just pan sear them, finish them in the oven. Yep. But today I'm going to have to slice these a little bit thinner so that they cook quickly in the pan. So we'll just cut them on the slant, like so. Okay. So I'm just going to pop these in here now without hopefully trying to get my hands too dirty. I'm going to use my tongs and we're just going to marinate these up. So we're just going to stir these around. And whatever you do, I am being serious, don't get this on your clothes, okay? Because it does stain. Now, I think that's pretty well done. We're going to pop that with the tongs and all into the esky. Okay, the next thing we've got to do is our salad, step 2. Straight down with an avocado. This is the easiest way to do them. Just twist the avocado. Okay, with a larger knife. Now, you've got to be really careful when you do this. So any of the kids at home, please don't do this. Okay, straight in, we twist. Out she comes. Now with avocado seeds, it's fantastic to keep the avocado seed, put it back into the avocado if you're only going to use half the avocado, because there's actually an enzyme in there that keeps the avocados green. I dice the avocado and add it to the mixing bowl. Then I add some cannellini beans, chickpeas, finely chopped red onion, and segments of lime and orange. Then I throw in some chopped coriander and some flat leaf parsley. And to top it all off, drizzle with olive oil, add a pinch of salt and a good amount of cracked black pepper, and toss it all together. Next we're on to stage 3, our yogurt dressing. I finely slice a small section of long red chilli and add some natural unsweetened yogurt. I spoon in some honey we picked up from Mudgee and squeeze in a little bit of lime juice and stir. It's a simple dressing that will go really well with our fish. And now it's time to cook. Okay, just going to get that smoking. So probably 2 to 3 fillets in this pan at the moment. Yeah, fantastic. Geez, it looks good.
Oh, it does look
now, what is important as well, as you can see, this is the skin side up. I like to put the presentation side down first for reasons that basically if we cook on the side that we're not going to present and then we put it down the other side, well then it doesn't look too good. Okay, while we're waiting for our fish to cook, we're going to put our salad on our plate ready to rock and roll. As you can see, absolutely lovely. I think we're going to have a really nice dish here, Scott.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
Just tell me, exactly how long should you leave the fish to cook on one side? What am I looking for?
Well, what I like to do is I like to cook it at the moment. As you can see,
It's starting to whiten up.
up on the edges. Yeah. What I like to do personally, so that it doesn't dry out the fish, I like to turn it over, get a nice colour on one side without it being too hot. You don't want to burn the fish. You really don't want to burn the fish. So keep it on a low temperature.
Yep.
Okay, we'll just check. So we don't want it to be burnt. We want a nice colour on the fish. As you can see, it is a beautiful colour.
That's looking good.
Yeah, absolutely lovely. Okay, these fillets are a little bit thick, so I'm going to cook for a few minutes on this side. Okay, and then I'm going to turn the pan completely off, so there's no heat in our pan whatsoever. Okay. All right, so there's no heat, keeps reheating it, because it's come to temperature now. That'll finish off cooking off the fish, and we'll get a beautiful piece of fish. Okay, I'm just going to take the side off this lime, squeeze a little bit of lime juice over the top of that. As you can see, and you can see there's no heat here, so there's no danger. Yep. There's no flame, so it can't catch on fire. Okay, and I'm going to let that rest. And if you are concerned whether that fish is cooked enough, don't be scared of having a look in the middle. Just having a look there, like. Beautiful. There you go. Look, see, it's perfect at the moment.
Yeah.
We don't want to. We'll just leave it now to relax. Yep. So we've rested our yellow belly, and it's time to plate up. I placed a couple of fillets over our salad and spooned some dressing over the top. Then add a little sprig of coriander and a couple of lime wedges. Drizzle with some oil and it's ready to eat. Now this is the first time I've ever tasted yellow belly, and I'm going to let you know what it is. Oh wow, mate, that is absolutely superb. Really, really good, and really goes well with that dressing, you know. It packs heaps of flavour into there. It's really, really good.
Excellent. I'll tell you what, Paul. Beautiful glass of wine, beautiful dish you've cooked for us.
If it wasn't for you, mate, I'd be having beans on toast tonight.
That'd be interesting.
Coming up after the break, I cooked some yabbies by the dam.
Okay, we're about 25 minutes out of Mudgee on a little country property, and these little properties have dams all across them. And the yabbies that we picked up, or we seen yesterday at the yabby farm, inhabit these little dams. And we thought, what a great location to cook up our wonderful food of yabbies that we picked up yesterday. How's it look over there, mate?
Mate, tell you what, we're not cooking down there on that log.
Yeah.
There's a great big bloody snake down there, mate. I think it's a red belly black snake. It's huge.
He won't hurt you.
He won't hurt me?
He won't hurt you.
Tick us going.
How about we just slide down over here? There's a nice little spot just there.
Okay, so we've got our yabbies from Peter down at Mudgee. Now, the most humane way to dispatch these little critters is to put some ice water. Put them in ice water for over an hour. As you can see, they're perfect to put in the water right now. Okay, not moving at all. Now the dish that I'm going to cook up today is just some chili yabbies with a mango salsa. I'm going to put that on top of a spinach, tossed with some macadamias. All right, so straight away we're going to put our yabbies in the pot. Boiling salted water. Probably going to need around about 9 yabbies for this. Now I'm only going to cook these for around about 30 seconds to a minute. Now most people at home will be thinking, geez, that's not long enough to cook a yabby. But I don't want to cook them all the way through. I only want to sort of half cook them so they're still a bit raw. But what it will do is help me peel the yabbies and make it a lot easier. While the yabbies are boiling, I make a quick marinade with plenty of sweet chili sauce, some soya sauce, a few drops of sesame seed oil and lime juice. The yabbies are now done. So I bring them off the heat, drain them, and refresh them in ice water to stop the cooking process, and it makes them easier to peel. Can you give me a bit of a hand to peel these, Scott?
Yeah, mate, no problem.
Okay, we'll just break the tail off.
All right, yep.
Okay, just gently. All right, like so.
No, they peel pretty easy, don't they?
Yeah, just like a prawn, really. We'll just give this a bit of a stir. And then you can throw them into the marinade as they're done. And we'll give them a coat. Beautiful. Yeah, the reason why we do undercook them is so that they don't dry out when we actually do the finished product, because we're almost probably, I suppose, cooking them twice. After we've marinated the yabbies, I put them on the skewer ready to cook. To accompany the dish, I toast some chopped macadamia nuts, combine it with some English spinach and wait for it to wilt. Then I plate it up and make a start on cooking the yabbies. We just want to get a little bit of colour on these, Scott. All right.
Okay. Yep.
Now I have made a little bit of a mango dipping sauce that I'm going to put on the top of here. Just we've got mango in there, some red onion, and some coriander. And I'm going to throw a little bit more lime juice in there, just to give it a little bit of a zing. Turn the heat off. There we go. Lovely. Now we're going to put a little bit of mango salsa just on the side here. And there we have it, guys. Beautiful Mudgee yabbies, caramelised with sweet chilli, with a macadamia nut and spinach, English spinach wilted, and we've got some beautiful mango salsa. How good does that look? Now, Pete, just for you and Margaret down there at the Yabby farm, just like to put this little garnish, this little fella on top, and there we go. How's that taste?
All the flavours are good, aren't they?
Yeah, it all goes together.
The chilli and the mango.
Beautiful.
I might put the billy on.
Yeah.
Knock us up a cup of tea.
Just keep an eye out for that snake.
Don't worry about your snake. Told you won't hurt you.
They're beautiful.
Well, what a trip away. I can see myself getting back to Mudgee sometime soon. I've got to even up that score on the Yellow Belly front, and I can't wait to get back to taste some more Mudgee wine.
Stop laughing, what are you laughing at? Stop laughing. Come on, we've got to do this.
As you can see, I like my food.
It likes you too. The red light's showing and we're racing.
The hair drying up? Yeah, it's good.